Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Get Rich 101. I am your host, and I am the author of this book coming up, Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. So I really got to get this book locked in because I say this because I helped a blind man yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but recently. I helped a blind man and I helped him get home, and he was asking me what I do, and I told him, "Well, I'm an author," and he asked the name of my book, and I could not get the name of this book. Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. And so sometimes when I'm in unfamiliar situations, my key gets thrown off, and I couldn't get the title. But so I got to say it a couple times. Is my point. I need to say it a couple of times because I had a therapist appointment yesterday, and we learned this new way of not quite conjugating, but um, saying things in a way that gets me to remember them. So Ashe, Ashe, I'm gonna try that. So anyway, I am the author of Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. All right. Shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me the space and this opportunity to grow. And remember that I am not a financial advisor. Take what I say with a grain of salt and do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. Okay, and let me get the affirmation done early. I am so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. I'm so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. Sorry about that. Got a little caught up at the end. So yeah, so that is what I'm talking about. That is my affirmation, and that is what we're talking about this morning. I want to point out a couple things. Today is Tuesday. I wasn't here yesterday, Monday, because two reasons. One, I want to listen to Mama Janet again. She was my guest on Friday, and then I put on Friday, but I put her back on Monday because I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch and drink it in. So that was key. And also Monday is my trading day. Now I've gone back to having taken Monday off to focus on trading because I see that that's not where you all need to be. That's not where you all need to be. So I'm going to talk about trading, but in a very light way. I'm going to focus on where we need to focus things, and that's where we need to go. And so where we need to talk about is money, just basic money, basic money, basic money, basic money. And so I have to say that when when people ask me about my show, and I tell them that it's called Get Rich 101, they're like, "Oh," there's an instant surprise. But then I try to explain to them, like, yeah, I had to address money differently because I was trying to deal with the the things that have happened when you have a stroke without any benefits and all the money that meant. So I've said that to people, but people have been a little bit, what's the word? Let me take the sip of tea while I think. Mm, I don't know. I don't know what to call it, but I'm not really sure what to call it. But there's this tension, I think. Not quite tension, but yeah, I'm not sure what to call it. I'm not sure what to call it. I'll just explain it some more. So what happens is that people accept that I had to deal with a lot. They accept that I had to deal with a lot of payments. They accept that. And then when I talk about focusing on money in a new way, in a different way, that's when people are like, kind of like, kind of, kind of flowing off into the ether. So I've got to figure out a way to talk about it in a stronger way, in a stronger way. But anyway, so I was talking to. Oh, I want to share this with you. I want to share this with you because I know I mentioned him a few shows ago, and I forgot to pull him up. Let me make sure let me make sure I didn't forget anything first, though. I think that's it. I think that's it. So let me share with you this. This is Chris Pratt. I was trying to remember his name. I couldn't remember his name before. His name is Chris Pratt. And let me show you what he says. It says Chris Pratt recalls blowing through his $75,000 paycheck. All right, now here we go. Uh-oh. Oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. I see what I did.
To feel like you could actually spend that money?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No. I was under the impression that I would never run out of money. The first paycheck I got, I was like, are you serious? And this was a TV movie. I got paid $75,000. And I was like, I'm never gonna wait again. You and leaving. And then about 2 months later, I was like, where'd that money go? I went back to Maui. I went to Australia. I traveled the world. I was like, well, I'm going to probably invest. I'm probably going to get a yacht. I don't know I didn't know how much. That was just a crazy amount of money to me. Yeah. I never could have possibly imagined making that amount of money. And it went very quickly.
Was it difficult for you to feel like you could actually spend that money?
Oh, no.
Oh,
okay. No.
So I was letting you watch the beginning again, just so you can get the full gist of it. So yeah, so that is an interesting playback to someone that I've quoted before, and sure you recognize his face, right? He's been in a lot of things, and mind you, he was a waiter. He was a waiter. I just found this out recently. He was a waiter. And Radon Chong, I think, she came into the restaurant and she was like, this guy's got energy. And she called him to come and be in her film. This is a small role. But he did it and it was like, oh my God, this is what I have to do. I have to pursue this. And then you heard the message. He got $75,000. First, the biggest check he'd ever gotten. It was like, I'm done. And so what I want to point out is Chris Pratt thought he was done. He thought he was finished. He thought he was rich for the rest of his life. Now, see, I want to make that clear because lots of us can think that we're rich for the rest of our lives. And we are not. He got that same $5,000 and blew it and was like, what? Right? He was able to get more work. And he was able to talk to people, I'm sure. I'm sure he got a financial advisor. I'm sure he got someone in his pocket to advise him on where to go. But what you've got to understand is you living your life does not prepare you for you living the life of someone with money. Those are two different realities. So that's why NFL players often lose their money because they haven't had any practice. They just assume, like me, like you, like everybody, that once you get a certain amount of money, you're set. Like Chris Pratt, you set $75,000, done. No, that's not the way it works. So this is very important. You have to pay. Let me see how I want to put this. You have to pay into yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if let's use Chris Pratt as an example, right? $75,000, right? Let's just say he did 750. $75,000. $75,000. I'm trying to do the math. Move a decimal point, $750. I'm just gonna go with $750. Let's just say it's $750. If you put that taking 10% and put that away somewhere, just put it away, and then done whatever what he was doing, going to Maui, going to Rio, going to all these different places, and he would have been demolished, but he still would have had that money set aside. He still would have had that money set aside. And if he was good enough for me, if he would have thought about that money as being set aside, he wouldn't have thought about that money anymore. Once you move it, you got to forget about it. Move it, then forget about it. Move it, then forget about it. So what he could have done, he could have put 10% away. I think that's $750. I think so. $750. And put that away. Put that away and forgotten about it. And then when he finished spending all his money, he will still have that money set aside. And if he had it set aside with a brokerage house, it will grow. It will grow, and grow, and grow, and grow, and grow, and grow. Right? So that's the important thing. The important thing is it doesn't matter how much money you get. It does not matter how much money you get. Right? Excuse me. It doesn't matter how much money you get. What matters is what you do with the money you get. What you do with the money you get. And that amount can vary widely. You have a big check, $75,000, that's a huge check, right? But still, you can do the same thing. You can get a $75 check, right? You take $750 and put it aside. $75. Yeah, $750. I gotta use it whole numbers. $100 check, and then you can use $10. Take $10 and put it away. Put it away. There is no difference between you and him, right? There's no difference. So what we're trained to think is that, when we get this money, when we get this $75,000, then you start to practice. No, because then you're practicing with the money, and you don't want to play risk with a big bowl of money. You want to play risk with a little bowl of money, little tiny bowl of money. I do a little this, and you get to know the basics, such that when you have the money come in, and it's a big ship of money come in, you know exactly what to do because you've been practicing with a little small amount of money. A little small amount of money. All right? Okay. So I hope I got that through. I just want to say it one more time. You, like Chris Pratt, there is no difference. He got a check for $75,000, which was incredible, but you got checks coming in. And you need to start now investing. You just start now taking and setting aside 10%. 10%. You need to automate it, really. You need to automate it to have automatically 10% come in, go out. Come in, go out. And just never mind what you're doing with it yet, but setting it aside. Get it involved in your psyche to set that money aside. Set that money aside. Just set it aside. Because I could tell you all the times that I've been rich, I think I'm up to like 6 times. Like Chris Pratt, I think he was rich once. $75,000. He's like, where did all this money go? And then I think he got involved in figuring it out, which is great. Because I got rich a couple times, and I was like, oh yeah, making money. But I did not know that what you have to do differently is you have to set it aside. You got to set it aside. Now people have different quotes, and so people have said that the rich will invest 65% of their income. Now that's a high number. That's a high number. But don't you be scared about that number. Don't you be scared about 65%. Worry about your 10%. 10%. 10%. And watch it grow and grow and grow. And eventually it'll hook itself on you. Eventually it'll hook itself on you. You'll be like, what? I made that much money? Then you start giving more and more. But in the meantime, don't worry about it. Just worry about your 10%. 10%. 10%. No matter how big, no matter how small the amount of money is, you got to set aside 10%. 10%. 10%. All right. Let me get rid of this Chris Pratt video, and I'm gonna check my I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my presentation right. I'm trying to have my second film set up. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna check very quickly the comments and see where we are and see what we got. All right, so here we go. 29 comments. 29 comments. Okay, let's see. Let's see. My plan is to help Angel or her daughter be better financially educated than I was at her age. Yes. If she starts now, the sky's the limit. Yes. Yes. But see, we've got to be for real though. We've got to be for real about the fact that they're still kids and they're still learning. I just volunteered yesterday. Yesterday, I volunteered to talk to Reverend Mel's kids because they need to understand how they're losing their allowance. I told her, I was like, listen, I need to talk to them about losing their allowance because what you do is they will lose their allowance and they ask her for more. I'm like, no, you got to do all that, but also set aside 10%. Also set aside 10% because you're a kid. You're gonna want to buy the things, but all we need you to do is set aside 10%. Set aside 10%, and 10% now at that age. I mean, that's a game changer right there. 10%, a little bit, 10%. So anyway, I'm gonna try it with Reverend Mel's kids. If it goes well, I'll let you guys know. I'll be open to your kids as well. I will talk to them. I'll talk to them because they need to learn. Need to learn. All right. Share the knowledge. Yes, share the knowledge. Yes, I will share the knowledge. I will share the knowledge. Let's see. Let's see. That's lots of comments. Let's see. You living your life does not prepare you to become a person who now lives a life with a lot of money. You must learn and have to grow. Yeah. So it's true. It's true. And it's so simple, but it's so hidden almost. Right? Because I mean, think about the ball. Have you seen the show Ballers? Ballers on HBO, starring The Rock and Denzel Washington's son, and they talk about their wealth and well, they talk about all of the NFL, right? So they talk about people who are ups and downs and all the things, but they don't talk that much about the loss of money. Well, actually, that's not true. That's not true. The main character, The Rock, is he experiences fallout. Like he loses all of his money, and he's trying to get his friend to buy something. He's trying to sell something, and his friend lost all his money. He lost all his money, and he didn't know what he was doing. But that's what I mean, though. So that's That's what I mean. Like you have to learn how to negotiate yourself. You've got to learn how to stand on 2 feet. Like, listen, like a football player all of a sudden has like, let's say, 12 feet, right? The word at 2 feet, but now they got 12 feet. Got all this extra money, and they're just thinking, hey, it's rare, it's available to spend. But no, Shaq. Oh, let me say this, Shaq. Shaq spent his first paycheck, his first NFL paycheck, his whole first paycheck in half an hour. His whole check in 30 minutes. He bought him a car, bought his parents a car, bought somebody a house. He spent all of it in 30 minutes. And so luckily, he had a friend working at the bank, and it's an older white guy. He called him in and said, "This man, I need you to come in here tomorrow. Now think about what would have happened if somebody hadn't called him in. So if someone hadn't taken the time to set aside to speak to Shaq, right? If Shaq hadn't listened. But anyway, he called him in and said, "Listen, man, you can't do this. You can't do what you just did. You need to have investments. You need to have investments. You need to do this." And so he had a lot more to do, but he set him up. I think he set him up to be paying 50% of his check into investments. 50%. Now that's a lot, but it's a lot based on a lot of money, right? A lot based on a lot of money. So he still had lots of money. 50% is going away. But look at him now. Now he's making more than he made in his biggest career, his biggest year as a basketball player, right? But it took him someone to sit him down and say, "Listen, you're doing this wrong. If you end up, if I let you keep doing this, you're gonna blow everything. And so it's not simple. It took someone to invest in him and spend his knowledge. And it took Shaq to listen to him, because he could have listened and said, "No, I'm doing my own thing," right? But it's so important that we have to act now as if we're NFL players. We act now as if we're NFL players. Now we ain't got it like that, but we're gonna behave as if we do. We're gonna set aside 10%. That's it. That's all I'm asking you for. Set aside 10%. No. 2 things I'm asking you for. Set aside 10% and get a financial advisor. Set aside 10% and get a financial advisor, because the financial advisor I told y'all about, Chris Bygraves, man, things I never would have known. I wouldn't have thought to ask about. He's been able to provide. I was like, wow. So you got to be able to have somebody who knows what you don't know, and that's just full of money. All right. All right. Sorry about that. I got sudsy. All right. Let's see. Lots of. People are wishing happy birthday to Fee King. Fee King is back in New York, and her birthday is tomorrow. And yeah, so get on it. Wish her happy birthday tomorrow. Well, today, since Fatima started today, send out all the birthday love to Fee King. Fee King. Let's see. Oh yeah. So Fee came with me to my what kind of doctor was yesterday? It was a speech doctor. And one of the things that I learned was asking people to give me a moment. just asking people to give me a moment. And that gives me enough time to reset myself. So that's part of what I did earlier. I took a drink of my tea to give myself time to get my thoughts together. And that's just a good way to help me. A good way to help me. All right. So thanks for paying attention, Fee King. And thanks for taking notes on the speech therapist. Okay, I think, wow, there's a lot of comments. There are a lot of comments. All right, I'm going to close it out. Let me see. Yeah. Act now as if you are already rich like a football player. Yes, I said it before. I'm going to say it again. Act now as if you're already rich like a football player. That's it. That's it. You got to act now. You got to practice now, so that when the big money comes in, you will know what to do. You won't be asking people, "What do I do with it?" Because they'll rip you off. You know, or something will happen. You need to know how to maneuver based on small amounts. Small amounts, and its ultimate small amount is 10%. 10% financial advisor. That's it. 10% financial advisor. That's it. 10% financial advisor. That's it. Just slide it over to the financial advisor, right? And you know what? I'm gonna tell you this story. I'm gonna tell you this, how I got into the financial thing, the financial advisor. So I mentioned when I was talking to Mama Janet how she is the person. She's the person in my life who's always been talking about financial advisor. And my whole life I've been thinking, well, one day I have enough to buy into a financial advisor, but not yet. Not yet, right? And what happened is I was watching YouTube, and this guy said that when he was playing at his ultimate level, top level, he had the nice cars, nice house, and all the things. He said people would come visit him and they wouldn't ask him how. They would not ask him how. He's like, why not? I did. That's how I got here, by asking people. But when people came to visit him, it was just like, oh, wow. But they wouldn't ask him how. And so he said, at least ask who your person is, who your financial advisor is. And I was like, financial advisor? Huh. Now, the way he said it, like asking your friend what his financial advisor is, I was like, And so I did. I asked a friend of mine, we've been friends for years, since freshman year, Morehouse, right? I asked him about it, and he said, yes, of course he has a financial advisor. I was like, what? Right? And that's what made me really push to get a financial advisor. And now that I have one, I don't know what I was doing without one. I don't know what I was doing without one, because it would have changed so many things for me. It would change so many things for me, but it's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. Get your money, put aside 10%, and let it grow. With under the advice of a financial advisor. 10% to the side. 10% to the side. Get your advice from your financial advisor. All right. All right, so I've run out of time. I'm getting all sudsy and excited. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. And I give thanks. Oh, wait a minute. I got to remember her phrasing. Yesterday's speech therapist got me to remember my final sentence, which is, now is better than perfect. Now is better than perfect. So I did something you can't see in my head, but it made it come out easier. Now is better than perfect. Ashe. That felt good. That felt good. All right, folks. I will see you next time. Later.